Who's ever needed to call a plumber will know that it can be an expensive business. Reputable tradesmen charge as much as $50 an hour, plus the cost of materials. Philip Bruce is anything but reputable, but he does claim to be cheap. He advertises some plumbing services for just $50 all up. Now, at least 30 customers who've been stung by him have complained to consumer authorities in recent years, but still he keeps operating. Martin King takes up his story.
How would you describe your experience with Mr. Bruce?
Oh, he's a plumber from hell. He really is.
Put in plumbing terms, that at the bottom of the sewer you're likely to find some scum.
Oh, hi, Mr. Bruce. Who? Phil Bruce.
No.
The plumber from hell. Philip Bruce says he'll clear your sewers for just $50. But instead, he cleans out your bank account, in most cases, for thousands of dollars. So from $50 in the newspaper, what was the final cost with legals?
It was up to $9,000.
$9,000?
I'm afraid so.
See, Martin, this is Mr. Bruce's $50 job, but it cost me a lot more than that.
How much did it cost all up in the end?
$2,605.
For all the wrong reasons, Philip Bruce is a legend in the plumbing game. The Victorian government has been trying to shut him down for years, but Lucky Phil simply defies them all.
Do you know how much it might cost?
No. Wouldn't have the faintest.
Mr. Bruce sends his boys to do his dirty work.
Be best having it done. You know what I mean? We're down here.
Back at his ramshackle office in the Melbourne suburb of Footscray, Philip Bruce mans the phones, drumming up business.
Bill, yeah, I'm at the job. I have to dig your driveway up.
He sends a couple of young fellows who appear nice enough, and you don't actually know who you're dealing with until such a time as the catastrophe has occurred.
Lee Astbury had a blocked sewer. He saw Mr. Bruce's $50 offer in his local paper.
Two young men turned up the next day and put a snake down the sewer and then announced that the pipes were broken.
Lee consented to some extra work, but the job only got bigger and bigger. The first bill was $3,500. The whole driveway was dug up. Then the bill doubled.
And what was your reaction to that?
Flabbergasted. Absolutely appalled, as you might imagine.
I did expect, you know, if they had to do other work, the cost may go up, but certainly didn't expect what happened.
Mark Grindlay had a blocked toilet. When Mr. Bruce's men said the job was bigger, he agreed to pay $400.
Mr. Bruce finally rang us at the end of the week, saying the job would be around $3,000 when it was almost finished.
We borrowed this home and created a simple problem.
Okay, put your hand away.
2 toilet rolls blocking the sewer pipe. Then we called Mr. Bruce for the so-called $50 special. There were no serious problems with the pipes at this house, but don't take our word for that. This man is the owner. Do your pipes work?
Yes, there's nothing wrong with them.
How well do they work?
4 showers a day and a couple of baths. Toilets flush okay, no problem.
To be certain, we called in Mike Norton, a licensed plumber who uses the latest technology to test pipes.
They're in quite good condition. There's a little crack here and there, a few little hair tree roots, but generally speaking, they're in very good condition.
Mike's firm, Swift Services and Equipment, used this special camera for his inspection. So is there any reason for anybody to come along here and maybe rip the whole lot up and replace them?
I couldn't see any reason why. No, not at all.
I don't know. I'll show you. Excuse the house.
The next morning, Mr. Bruce sent this man to make an inspection.
And this is the toilet that won't flush. Well, it wasn't flushing.
After putting a mechanical snake in the pipes for a few metres, the bad news.
Why does the pipe need repairing, though?
Because it's broken.
Then this man arrived.
This is where they think the pipe's broken, is it?
Yeah, Jason thinks it's broken here.
Remember, we blocked the sewer 30 metres away up the driveway. More men arrived and the hole got bigger. Then we overheard this little gem. Mr. Bruce's boys aren't even convinced there's a problem. But the explanation for the housewife is completely different.
But you've got broken pipes here.
And how can you tell they're broken?
There's no water coming through.
Right.
There's all water down here in the hole. When you call Philip Bruce and his boys in for the $50 special, you sure get value for your money. As you can see, we're halfway to China.
There's no broken sewer ever existed that can be cleaned and for $50. Nowhere.
Tom Clements is an expert plumbing witness used by the Victorian government to prosecute men like Philip Bruce.
He always finds the broken pipes, and he always digs up, and particularly if nobody's around and nobody's home.
He's battled Mr. Bruce in court 30 times.
He's an aggressive man. In fact, he's been known to draw a gun. He's been known to assault people, also to harass them.
Meanwhile, the work continues. We still don't know what's really going on or what all this labour is going to cost us.
What's wrong with the pipes?
The terracotta pipes are broken.
So it's obviously bigger than an unblocked sewer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Michael Connaughton couldn't believe what Philip Bruce's men had done.
We inspected that with a TV camera and set it down the full length. It was perfect, not a problem.
So what's your reaction then to this huge hole?
Amazing. It's 8 foot deep.
I'm just trying to find out, Phil, how much the job's going to be.
I'd say you're going to be up for somewhere around between $900 and $1,100.
Can we ever talk to you, please, about the way you treat people with your plumbing jobs?
Now look, get that camera out of here. Bill. My premises. Get it out. Get out. Get out my guy.
Phil, now don't be... Phil, can we please talk to you? When Mr. Bruce grabbed what appeared to be a gun, it was time to leave. Should Philip Bruce be tossed out of the industry?
We've been trying to do that for a long, long time, and we haven't been successful.
Philip Bruce has prior convictions for fraud, larceny, forgery, possession of unregistered weapons, handling stolen goods, and possession of drugs.
This is what happens when you run foul of Philip Bruce.
Yeah, I hope you got plenty of money for the Supreme Court writs after the investigators, because you'll certainly need it.
You did a job for us in Ormond and you've ripped us off like you've ripped other people off.
Ormond where?
In Coringa Road. And it was a $50 special.
We haven't charged nothing for that job, so you get
Oh, excuse me?
We've charged nothing.
Yes, you've told us between $900 and $1,100.
Yeah, we've done nothing.
Yes,
we
you
haven't sent you a bill at all. When you get a bill, you can say then I've ripped yours.
Now listen, Phil.
Yeah.
Now you listen to me.
Yeah, all I was going to charge you was $50, so
you were... now you're telling me lies now.
Martin King reporting there. Philip Bruce declined our request for an interview, but he did fax us a letter today in which he describes our report as, quote, half-baked, one-sided and a lot of lies. Well, Mr Bruce, we're happy to go through it detail by detail with you any time you would like. We'll come with something different after the break.